Good evening. It's 6:30. It is Tuesday, October 19th, 2021. And call to order the Planning and Zoning Commission meeting, and we do have a quorum present. Immediately following this meeting, the Overlay Board will meet. The first item on the agenda is the approval of the minutes of the September 21st, 2021 meeting. If there are no additions or corrections, may I have a motion?
Move to approve.
Second.
I've got motion by Aram, second by Karen.
Apologies, this is moving a little slowly this evening.
Vote now. And motion passes 6-0. The next part of the agenda is public hearing for plats. The first public hearing is a final plat of Greenland Hills Edition, Lot 7R, Block C, on .422 acres out of the J.W. King Survey, abstract number 0696A, zoned R-7.5 single-family residential district, located at 125 Simmons Avenue, being a replat of Greenland Hills Additions, lots 7 and 8, Block C.
Good evening, Commissioners. This plat was first brought before the Planning and Zoning Commission on August 9th and was denied as it was needed to be submitted as a residential replat. The applicant has submitted it as residential replat and it was noticed as such. There are two variances associated with this plat. One variance going to the Zoning Board of Adjustment in November to allow a 0.8-foot encroachment on the side yard setback, and a variance going before City Council to allow front entry lots. The staff recommends that the Planning and Zoning Commission recommend to City Council approval of the variance and disapprove the final plat for the deficiencies listed and delegate to staff the ability to accept the plat once all listed deficiencies have been corrected.
Okay, Commissioners, before I open up the public hearing, are there any questions or comments for staff? Okay, I'll go ahead now and open up the public hearing. Anybody wishing to speak on this item, please come forward, sign in, and state your name. Having no one come forward, I'll go ahead now and close the public hearing. Commissioners, are there any comments or concerns? If not, may I have a motion, please?
I make a motion that we recommend to approve the variances and disapprove the final plat due to the deficiencies, then delegating to the staff the authority to approve when deficiencies are corrected and bring back to the chair for signature.
Motion by Francis, second by Karen. And vote now. And motion passes 6-0. The next public hearing is a final plat of Valley Ridge Business Park West Edition, Lot 3-R1-A and 3-R1-C, Block C, on 18.703 acres out of the Jesse Watkins Survey, abstract number 1323, zoned General Business District, located at 801 West Main Street, being a replat of Valley Ridge Business Park West, Lot 3-R1-A, Block C.
Good evening, Commissioners. This is a plat to subdivide an existing commercial property. Staff has reviewed and provided a list of deficiencies. Our recommendation tonight is that the Planning and Zoning Commission disapprove the final plat of the Valley Ridge Business Park West Edition for the deficiencies listed and delegate to staff the ability to accept and approve the plat once the listed deficiencies are corrected, and then the approved plat would be brought back to the chair for signature.
Okay, thank you. Commissioners, are there any comments, questions? Okay, at this time, I will go ahead and open up the public hearing. Anyone wishing to speak on this item, please come forward, sign in, and state your name. Having no one come forward, I will close the public hearing. Commissioners, if there are not any comments or questions for staff, may I have a motion?
I move to disapprove the final plat of Valley Ridge Business Park West Addition for the deficiencies listed above and delegate to staff the ability to accept and approve once the listed deficiencies are corrected.
Second.
Motion by Aram, second by Jordan. Vote now. Motion passes 6-0. The next public hearing for plats is the final plat of 121 Plaza Addition, Lot 1RA, Block A, on 3.01 acres out of the A.G. King Survey, abstract number 698, zoned light industrial, located at 816 State Highway 121 Business, being a replat of 121 Plaza Addition, Lot 1R, Block A.
Commissioners, staff has reviewed the plat and found a list of deficiencies and recommends that the Planning and Zoning Commission disapprove the final plat of 121 Plaza Addition for all the deficiencies listed, delegate to staff the ability to accept and approve once they are corrected. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Commissioners, any questions for staff? Comments? Okay, I'll go ahead now and open up this public hearing. Anyone wishing to speak on this item, please come forward, state your name, and sign in. Having no one come forward, I will close the public hearing. Commissioners, if there's no discussion, may I have a motion, please?
I move to disapprove the plat for the deficiencies listed and delegate authority to staff to approve once the deficiencies have been corrected.
Second by Francis.
Motion by Jordan, seconded by Francis. Vote now. Motion passes 6-0. The next public hearing is for a zoning and special use permit. This public hearing is a consideration of a zone change request from Old Town Mixed Use 2 District to Planned Development Old Town Mixed 2 District with 3 associated variances on .1223 acres, legally described as South Village Addition, Block A, Lots 6 through 9, located at 206, 208, 210, and 212 South Village Way, as requested by Patricia Fant McAdams, the applicant, on behalf of Henry Romani, RCD Groups, LLC, the property owner.
Commissioners, South Village is a townhouse and mixed-use development that's situated directly south of Louisville's Old Town Core. The original development featured 63 townhouse lots and 16 condominiums in the Awesome Center. 8 of these original condominiums did not have any dedicated parking, as the parking for all 16 units was 1.375 per unit. I wanted to make sure you're aware of this. This is a correction to my staff memo where I mentioned there's only 14 condominium units and no parking for any of it. So correction to that is the number and the parking available. The applicant is looking to convert 4 of the existing townhouse lots to allow 8 additional condominium units and parking spaces. They'll serve both the new units and the existing units, which do not currently have parking. This features 16 single-car garages. The proposed development covers most of these 4 original lots and the building will encompass almost the entirety of this property other than a utility easement on the northeastern and southern corner of this property. The architectural style of these condominium units was chosen to mimic that of the existing townhouses in South Village and has already been approved by the Old Town Design Review Committee on September 27th of this year. There are 3 requested variances with this PD request. They are to reduce the number of parking spaces from 2 to 1.5 per Louisville's Old Town Code, and there's 2 variances to reduce the required landscaping. There's no landscape buffer or trees associated with this proposed PD, but this does match the existing landscaping found in South Village. I am happy to answer any questions you may have regarding this development.
Has anyone called or sent in any emails or cards regarding this
I have
change?
received no phone calls or emails regarding this.
Okay.
The applicant is also available for questions.
Okay. We can hear from the applicant if he wishes to speak after the public hearing then. Commissioners, do we have any questions for John or any concerns? Okay, I'm going to go ahead then and open up the public hearing. Thank you, John. Anyone wishing to speak on this item, please come forward, sign in and state your name. Having no one come forward, I will go ahead and close the public hearing. Commissioners, do you have any questions? Do you have any questions for the applicant? No? Okay, if not, then may I have a motion, please?
I move to approve the zoning change request as set forth.
Second by Francis.
Motion by Aram, seconded by Francis. Vote now. Motion passes 6-0.
Thank you, Commissioners. This item will appear before City Council on November 15th for a second and final public hearing.
Thank you, John. Having nothing else on our agenda for tonight, the next item would be adjournment. May I have a motion to adjourn, please?
Move to adjourn.
Motion by Francis. Second. Second by Karen. Vote now. Motion passes 6-0. We are adjourned. This time I'm going to go ahead and call to order and announce we have a quorum present for the overlay board. And first item on new business is to consider the minutes of the September 7th, 2021 joint meeting with the Planning and Zoning Commission, Transportation Board, and Capital Improvements Advisory Committee. If there are no additions or corrections, may I have a motion, please?
Move to approve the minutes.
Motion by Aram.
Second.
Seconded by Alvin. Vote now. And motion passes 6-0. The final item for consideration is of 3 alternative standards associated with a proposed industrial building on a 15.753 acre lot legally described as Louisville Square Addition, Block A, Lot 1A, located at 280 East Corporate Drive, zoned Light Industrial District, as requested by Howard Aiken of 280 Corporate LLC, the property owner.
Yes, good evening, Commissioners. I've pulled up a map of the property just so you can see where it is. We have looked at this property before, and we did grant some alternative standards based on the site layout. At that time, the applicant did not have full elevations prepared. He does now. And he's coming forward with 3 additional requests related to those elevations. The first request is related to the ground floor windows to reduce the ground floor window percentage. The second request is to reduce the ground floor canopy percentage. He's provided some renderings of his buildings here. These were the same renderings he had last time, but they didn't accompany full elevations. We do now have those full elevations here. For the window request, request A, staff is comfortable with their request, provided that they add additional chamfered edges or reveals to mimic those sets of 3 window patterns they have kind of in the middle of the building on the remaining tilt wall portions of the building moving to the east, just to help break up that facade a little bit at the grade level. And then with the canopies, staff is comfortable with the request provided there's the additional condition that they add canopies over all their windows and doors. So that would include these 3 sets of 3 actual windows, and they have 2 kind of auxiliary doors that could have a canopy or awning over them. And then their third request is to allow more than 7 windows that aren't separated by a mullion of more than 7 inches. They've got about 10 windows along the front here. They're fairly narrow and thin, but we feel that that fits kind of the design, and we have no objection to that request. Staff is here and the applicant is here if you have any questions.
Okay, thank you. Commissioners, are there any questions, concerns, discussion? If not, may I have a motion, please?
I move to approve the alternative standards with the conditions set forward for A and B, and recommend approval of alternative standard C as presented.
Motion by Aram,
Second.
second by Francis. Vote now. Motion passes 6-0.
Thank you, and that will go to City Council also on November the 15th.
Thank you. Okay, before we adjourn, I understand that the staff have a couple of announcements they'd like to make.
Yes, first I wanted to just thank you all for your service. Before you this evening, we do have a gift from our city secretary's office. Annually, we do have a boards and commissions banquet to thank all of you for your volunteer hours serving the city of Louisville. We're not doing that due to the ongoing COVID pandemic, but we did want to say thank you. So that is your gift that was coordinated by the city secretary's office, and we just want to give you our heartfelt thanks. It's been a trying year. We've been virtual and in person and joint. So just thank you for all of your time during this past year that was a little bit challenging.
Thank you.
Then I have a quick announcement. I just want to remind the commissioners of the upcoming Texas APA conference. It'll be a hybrid conference. It'll be held in person in a couple of weeks on November 2nd and 3rd. All of the commissioners are registered for a virtual registration. And for what I'm understanding is that the recordings of all of the sessions will be available, I believe, about 2 days after the conference. So once I get the final confirmation of how that's going to work, I will send an email out to the commissioners with instructions on how to view those. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay. At this time, then, we have to adjourn. May I have a motion to adjourn, please?
Move to adjourn.
Motion by Francis.
Second.
Second by Alvin. That was actually... Now. Motion passes 6-0. We are adjourned.